While they're finding a seat, I just want to introduce myself. Some of you may have seen me around here, pestering you the last few weeks, taking pictures of you so you can be the stars of our show tonight. My name is Janet Helen, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Patron Services, which means I get to serve with all of you wonderful people as Champlain Family History Consultants, training and making sure that our shifts are filled and that you have everything that you need so that you can serve up here. So welcome to the Family History Center. You'll see our first star of the show, our Director, President Castleton. Whenever a building is established for the purpose of doing the Lord's work, He has given us a pattern to follow. And let's see, how do I advance? Here we go. Did we get the next slide?
No.
Hang on a second, we're going to get this right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Could I have someone please read the scripture from Doctrine and Covenants? Someone be willing to do that? Thank you, Linda.
Doctrine and Covenants 109, verse 8. Organize yourselves. Prepare every needful thing and establish a house, even a house of prayer, a house of fasting, a house of faith, a house of learning, a house of glory, a house of order, a house of God.
Thank you so much. This is the pattern that the Lord has established when we create a building to do His work. And so tonight we are going to talk about the needful things in the order of the center so that the work of the Lord can go on. These next few slides I'm going to show you is actually from the operations manual for Family History Centers, and this is the purpose of Family History Centers. Can I have someone read the first bullet point, please? Let's just start here with Brother Walker.
Centers are a resource for church leaders to minister in the work of salvation.
Okay.
Centers inspire and help church members engage in family history activities.
Thank you. Centers provide one-on-one assistance and convenient access to family history. So this is the role of the Family History Center, and for our Family History Center, you can see that there is a lot of wonderful work that can happen here to minister in the work of salvation. I thought it also might be worth sharing with you how the center is organized as far as our leadership. So the priesthood direction is stake presidencies. The agent stakes for this center is the Sandy Granite stake. They're the ones that petitioned to have this center open in the first place. When the ninth graders went up to Brighton, it vacated the seminary building, and so our stake presidency at the time saw a vision for this center to be open specifically to the youth at the time, but it's just grown into this wonderful center for all of us. So the stakes that support and participate in this center are the Granite stake, the Alta View stake, Granite View stake, and the Willow Creek stake. And then we have a few other consultants that come and help us that we welcome and love. They just have added so much to our center. Some of them have been teachers, and they're serving so well up here. We welcome everyone. Under the stake presidency, there's a high counselor in charge of all family history work, and then there's a lead stake, a stake lead consultant that serves on the leadership committee. Brother Pingree is one of those. I don't see another stake lead in here, but that's Brother Pingree will represent the lead stake consultant. And then under them we have our center director, President Castleton. Would you mind standing, please, so they can all get to know you? His job is specific to managing and maintaining the resources of the center. Then we have assistant directors. That's my assignment up here, to be the assistant director of patron services. I thought it might be nice for you to recognize some of the other folks that help us here. And if you are one of these people, would you mind just standing so people can recognize you? We have Jackie Fryer, who is in charge of scheduling. So when you call to make an appointment, it will be Jackie that you talk to. We have Michelle Babcock. She's in charge of the youth programs and primary. And that's no small task, I can tell you that. She does a great job. We have President Bob Ives. Stan. He's the director of technology and the facilities, so he gets a lot of our phone calls, and we appreciate what he does for us. We have Brother Bob Taylor. I did see him. I'm not sure if he's in the other room. He's in charge of curriculum, so all the classes are organized by him. And then communications is Sister Debbie Brady. There she is. She just popped in to say hey. Oh, and there's Brother Taylor. So these are some of the folks that make the world go round up here. Okay. Then there are you, the consultants, the wonderful Temple and Family History consultants. We could not have our doors open without you, and we just want to say thank you so very much for all you do. Yes, we can clap for that. Now I want to talk, the first part of this, I want to talk about the needful things that have to happen at the center for us to keep the center running. Are you all familiar that we have a wiki page for our center? How many of you know about that? 10, there's a few of you. If you go to FamilySearch.org, there is a wiki page that is maintained by our center, and that is to the general public on the Family Search guide. So if you ever want to have any information, you can go here. That's one of the great resources available to us. How many of you have been on the Granite Family History website? Raise your hand high if you have. Some have and some have not. If you're near a computer, I thought it might be worth just jumping on and opening that up. So if you can open up a Granite Family History Center web page, and if you're close to one, you can kind of peek over somebody's shoulder. On the web page, there is so much helpful information. You're going to have updates, inspiration, you'll have the schedule, you'll have the class schedule. You can even go on there and watch classes live now, or recorded classes. You can go back. If you haven't been able to attend a class, then you'll be able to go back and watch it again. Or if you just want to stay home in your jams, you can just watch the class from home. It's really a great thing. Specifically for consultants, so there is a consultant tab on there. Now the consultant tab requires a password because we have personal information on there that we want to protect. So on the consultant tab, you're going to find schedules. You're going to have your shift schedules, the consultant directory. You'll be able to find a substitute list on there. There's past trainings on there that you can watch. It's a very, very helpful place to go for information, especially concerning the consultants tonight. So I hope you'll take a chance to go on there. The password. Yes, go ahead. Is that what you were going to ask? Yes. The password is really, really hard. It's Granite FHC, all lowercase. And that will access you to all of the information there. You can find the directory so that you can find each other's numbers, the people that you serve with on shift, and you can communicate with one another. Also on the web page, you'll be able to find two numbers for the people who are in leadership positions up here. Should you ever need anything, or if you have questions, or if you have concerns, do not hesitate to contact one of us. We are so happy to help. That's what we are here to do. Okay, any questions on the web page? I hope you'll take a chance to do that. Okay, this was a new revelation to me. I had no idea there was an operations guide for Family History Centers. It was very enlightening for me. I found lots of great information on there too. We will have a copy of that in the consultant handbook for you if you ever want to review that. Also, speaking of the consultant handbook, has anybody ever looked at that? That's great. Do you know where it is? Debbie, would you mind standing and showing everybody where that is? Okay, it's right here, right there. This is this is such a, hopefully it's a very helpful little handbook. It's got all the information in there. Numbers for the leadership up here. It has schedules, the class schedule. It has substitute list. It has the consultant directory. Hopefully it's very helpful to you. It has scanning information in it. It has media services. It has language. We'll talk a little bit about that later too. So take note. That's a good handy reference for you. Okay. The orientation guide. This is specific to our center, the orientation guide. Has anyone had an opportunity to read through that? Yes, Linda, hold that right up and show it off.
Yes, good.
Have you all had an opportunity to read through that? You can find it in the consultant handbook. Oftentimes we'll put one in your box. It does get outdated pretty quickly with changes that happen. So we'll try to keep an updated one in the handbook, but you can also access it. Who knows where you can access it? Always with updates. President Castleton, Debbie? Is it on the consultant page? Yes, it is on. It lives on the consultant tab on the Granite Family History Center website. So that is another great resource for you. Any questions on the orientation guide? Okay. All right. Are you? Oh, yes, Brother Evans.
I go back just a little further on the consultant guide. I don't know how to log in. There's a place called Sign In.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yes, that's the place. You just need to put in the password Granite FHC. I think President Castleton will come along and help you get on there. Is he in the right place? Okay, I'll let him help you there. Is everyone receiving President Castleton's email each week? Yes? Okay. Is there anyone who is not receiving that? Come see me afterwards, okay? That would be great. Thank you. What are we finding on President Castleton's emails? What kind of information is there for us?
Spiritual message.
A spiritual message, which I just so appreciate. Anything else? Scott, are you raising your hand?
Encouragement.
Encouragement, yes. What else do we find on there? Schedule for the next week, including activities and classes and birthdays. Okay, this is, I know it's hard to, we all get a lot of emails, but for serving up here, it is really a great resource to you to just take a few minutes to read through it on a Sunday morning and see what's happening up at the center. You're going to get information about what's happening, and you'll have that inspiring message too. Okay, let's talk a little bit about staffing shifts. There needs to be 2 people on shift at all times up at the Family History Center. We had just an incident just today where the 3 to 5 shift was finishing up, but the 5 to 7 shift, we only had a substitute come. So we had to close the center because there wasn't enough people on shift, which is appropriate to do should that ever happen. We need to always remember that we need to keep the balance correct too. It should be 2 females, 2 males, or a married couple, but never a male and a female consultant unrelated to each other by themselves. So if you ever have that come up, you can phone me and I'll try to make sure that we can resolve that issue, or you can call a friend and have them come on up. But it's important that we remember that. Also, if all the consultants who are on shift are female, what is the procedure there? Does anyone know? We lock the doors. Does anyone know why we might do that?
Because we're smart.
Because you're smart. Yes, exactly. I know. I've been here on shift when it's been all sisters serving, and it feels a little awkward to lock the door because it may seem a bit unfriendly, you know, for someone to have to come and feel the door locked. But there's a sign out there to ring the bell, and it truly is for your protection and safety. So, yes.
Is it only necessary for the consultants, 2 of them, to be here, or is there a person who is overseeing the consultants? They need to be here that has a key.
I guess I don't understand your question.
Well, we came at the 5 o'clock today, and the person with the key was locking the door. But if 2 consultants were here, would they be able to operate the center without a key?
Yeah, generally the consultants throughout the day don't have a key to the center. Just the morning shift has a key and the evening shift, because generally the center's open throughout the day. But we had that situation today where we didn't have enough consultants to keep it open.
Okay.
Yes.
So the requirement for a male to be here or lock the door, so if a patron is here, a man is here, and then 2...
We should still have 2 consultants.
No, I'm saying, okay,
Yeah.
should the door still be locked? If it's just 2?
That's only for sisters.
It's just for sisters when there's sisters here
So
alone.
if there's sisters only, as long as there's a
So you can have
male here, you can unlock the door.
Yes.
We, on our particular shift, we frequently have just sisters here and a male patron. He's a wonderful man, but I would not rely on him to protect me if anything. And I think that's common sense.
Yes, I think that's exactly right. I think you do have to use your common sense, and what the Spirit dictates to you is what you should be doing. Yes, it's hard to prescribe every situation, so we do rely on your common sense on those things. Yes, W.
I think Dave's question was, he's a ward consultant,
Okay.
as opposed to, he's not assigned to work here in the center as a consultant yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a little confusion about the word consultant. So they don't have a key to get in, right? It's the ward consultant.
No, I'm sorry. I think the question that are okay, I shall. Thank you. Thank you. We're talking specifically to the consultants that are on staff tonight. Does that make sense?
Well, and who are they? Aren't all of us as consultants?
Unless you have an assigned
Yeah.
shift.
Right, unless you are on an assigned shift up here at the
Is
center.
that a voluntary position?
Yes, uh-huh.
So any of us who are consultants can volunteer to be consultants on a shift.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
yeah, you're welcome to, but
they need to be assigned.
right, you are assigned by the center. My keeps coming off and on. You are assigned by the center, so you would accept a shift to serve, for instance, on a Tuesday from 3 to 5, and that would be a weekly assignment through the center.
Do you have a schedule that we could look at to see if it would fit our schedule and then work it out that way?
I'm your gal. You just talk to me, yeah. So happy to talk to you about that. Yes, Lonnie.
So aren't our ward consultants asked to serve one shift here?
Not necessarily. We usually draw from the state, Chaplain Family History Consultants, although we do have ward consultants who serve up here as well. It's just whoever the state send us. We will use them. We're happy to have you come serve up here.
So it's my referral from the state, or can we just, if we so desire, we can come and do it, or not?
Yeah, just contact me. I'm happy to.
I'm not saying I desire, but I'm just.
Thank you so much. Yes, I had a sister just this Sunday come in and ask to serve up here, and we were happy to have her. She's very experienced. She's got a lot of experience on the computer, and we're very happy to have her serve up here.
Well, in a ward level, you're going to have people you're going to be contacting, and you want to come to the center with them generally.
Yes,
Be a consultant to help them.
yes, you're welcome to bring them here anytime during the week. Yes, you don't have to be assigned to do that. You just can come anytime from 10 to 9, Tuesday through Thursday, or Sundays 1 to 5. You're welcome to come anytime. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. Yes, Brother Evans.
Are consultants required to be set apart for their work? Does that happen at the board level?
Yes, that will happen either in your stake or your ward, depending on who calls you. If you're called at a stake level, is this correct, President Castleton? You will be set apart more than likely by the high counselor that calls you, or by, if you're called through your ward, it will be a member of your bishopric who will set you apart.
What if you're one of these volunteer people who just volunteered to be a consultant?
We probably have to check into that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. Did you have another comment? Okay, great. Okay, does everybody know that there's a dress code for the center? Does anyone know what the dress code is? not to attend a class, but to serve.
Shirts and shoes.
Shirts and shoes are required, yes. That's required, yes indeed. Does anyone know what specifically the code is? This is both in the operations manual and in our orientation guide. Nice casual, business casual is what they say. On Sundays, it's appropriate for you to come in your Sunday clothes. So does that answer that question? Okay, great, thank you. Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit about teamwork. I have seen so many shifts, and they work together so beautifully. They communicate with one another. They help each other. There's even one shift, they have a whole spreadsheet. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this on your shift, but they have a whole spreadsheet. They know who's going to be at the greeter's desk one day, and they rotate through it, and they know when their consultants will be absent and who's going to be the substitute. It just works so beautifully, and I'm so grateful for the teamwork that you make happen on your shift. It's just such a beautiful thing to watch. One of the concerns that was mentioned to me during when I have been chatting with you throughout the last few weeks is just to make sure that you come on time for your shift. When you have a 10 o'clock shift, especially in the morning, you should be here just a few minutes early so that you can get the center prepared. You have a 3 o'clock shift to be here right at 3 and 5 and 7. And that is part of the teamwork that we're talking about. Yes.
Sorry to keep asking these questions.
That's okay.
How many does it take to operate the center? I mean, you've got one of the desks, and you're going to have 2 here, and you've got one in the coffee room, or what?
Mm-hmm.
How does it work?
Generally, well, it will depend on the time of the day. We try to have at least 3 on shift, and sometimes more, because in the evenings we have youth groups that come in, we have classes, and sometimes that requires more consultants on shift to help During the middle of the day, and not quite as many, 5 to 7. 3 is max because everyone's home having dinner most of the time. So it will really depend on the time of day. Sundays have become quite busy, so we usually have at least 4 or 5 on Sunday. If there gets to be a greater need, then we'll.
Thank you.
You bet. So make sure that you come on time and then to stay all the way till your time is up. That was one other concern that I've heard is that people tend to leave a bit early, and that puts a greater burden on the rest of the consultants when you don't stay for your full shift. So that's really important when you make that commitment to be able to stay for the full time and be on time. Thank you. Substitutes. If you need to miss a shift, I know sometimes it's an emergency, but if you have enough time to plan in advance, make sure that you call a substitute. Everybody remembers where you can locate a substitute list? Just shout it out, Linda. In the handbook?
Online, on the
Online.
consultant tab.
Yes. We've tried to make it very easy for you to find a substitute. It can be tricky sometimes depending on what time of the day, but and if you have a pretty good group during your shift, sometimes you can cover for each other, but again, that's part of the teamwork that you'll establish, that you'll be able to say, I'm going to be gone, I was gone last week, and the other 3 consultants felt like they could cover. Lots of times it is necessary for me to get a substitute because it's during youth hours, and so we have lots of youth that come at that time. So make sure that you take the time to get a substitute. And then when you do have a substitute, I would highly recommend that you just contact the rest of your team that's on shift. Just let them know, I won't be there, and then let them know who the substitute will be. And that way, they are ready to receive the substitute and welcome them on board and just make it feel like it's they become part of your team. Yes?
Another question.
Okay.
That's at least our ward, and we're calling youth as consultants.
Yes.
Can they be classified as consultant here in the center for to fill the need, or are they just auxiliary?
So far, we haven't assigned any youth to a specific shift. Our youth hours, which we will talk about, are from 3 to 5, and that's generally when the youth come over.
Yeah.
And that's, we welcome all and any youth to come over during 3 to 5. They are taught all the family history skills. They're taught merging and memories and the family history guide. So they're welcome to come. As of right now, though, we don't have any assigned to specific shifts.
Yeah, they are assigned to a certain day, the consultant.
During the youth hours?
And mainly the Granite state, but some of the other states are starting to call them. They'll let me know. We'll get that range so that they can be a consultant, to do that first.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Okay, but his comment was that if the state will let him know, we will assign a youth to one of those days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 3 to 5. Is that correct? Okay, great, thank you. Okay. All right, we started talking a little bit about safety. I noticed that in the orientation guide there's quite a few safety guidelines, and I wanted to make sure I understood why some of these procedures were established. So since you're here, would you like to share that? You said it so nicely yesterday morning.
I'll need to stand next to you. You have the mic.
All right. Here you go.
Yeah, the safety procedures that are in place are basically for 2 reasons. One is for the security of the center. Obviously, there's a lot invested in capital expenditures, equipment, technology, everything else here. But that's not actually the driving motivation for that. The main motivation for our safety procedures and I'm assuming you'll talk about those, is the consultants, you. Because we want to be sure that you have a great experience, that the patrons have a great experience. This is a public center. It's on a public street. And we have had some very interesting people come in at times, and some other interesting people possibly at other times that have come in. So we want to make sure that, what can I say? We want to make sure that our consultants are not only safe when they're moving to and from their cars, especially the nighttime consultants, and that's why we also installed additional lights and lighting outside as well. But we want to make sure that you're safe in here as well from anything that might happen or come in on the street. You may have noticed there are sensors on all the doors. There are motion sensors, there are breakage sensors, door sensors, and there are cameras throughout the facility and outside, so that we can access those cameras 24/7. I can access them. This makes her paranoid, but I can access them any time of the day or night. And we keep, for months back at a time, we keep the videos that are constantly being made, which are motion activated too, by the way. So we have had occasions where equipment has been, let me just be kind and say equipment has disappeared from here, and we're able to go back and check the videos and check the time logs on the system. The system is monitored 24/7 by a monitoring company, and they're in Dallas, so I get phone calls sometime at 2 o'clock in the morning from, to come and check, or I can check the cameras, whatever. But just know that the systems are in place for the safety of the consultants as much as they are in place for the integrity of the equipment as well.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll kind of buzz through these next ones. Each of you know that you have a cubby at the back of the room. We'd like to have those for you so that we can communicate with you. We like to treat our birthday people, and you can keep your consultant badge in there, which is the next one. Please identify yourself. When you come in, we like the patrons to know who they can call on to come and help them. So make sure that you put your badge on. And if it's easier for you to keep it here so you know where it is each time, your cubby's right back there. Okay, the first shift of the day. I came to the center one morning and I saw the Thursday morning shift praying together, and I thought that was such a lovely start to the day that I thought I would include that in this presentation. And also invite you, if you are the first shift of the day, to have a prayer and invite the Spirit into the center for the day. Open the blinds and check the temperature setting. The reason the blinds are open is so that you can monitor what's going on. So that is an important thing, and oftentimes I come up here and the blinds are open, and sometimes, many times, the blinds are not open. So that's one of the reasons that we encourage you to open the blinds so you can monitor what's going on outside. Log into each computer, get it up and running so the patrons will be ready. Check the phone messages and see if there's anything that we need to answer if there's questions on the phone. Unlock the office, the overflow room, and the classrooms. Okay, for the last shift of the day, and this is just a review. You're all wonderful. I just want you to know that. This is just for review. Last shift of the day, to empty the trash. The garbage receptacle is out here. Tidy the center for the next day. The next shift that comes after you are so grateful when they come in and find that things are in good order. And close and lock all the classroom doors, and then close the blinds and turn off the lights so that we can secure the building. And then always leave the computers on. They are set up so that each night the information is scrubbed off of them. Anything personal that's left on there will be scrubbed. So leave the computers on. Okay, now we want to talk about a timely and friendly greeting. The person who sits at the greeter's desk is a little bit of the monitor of what's happening. You want to kind of keep an eye open for who's coming through the door and what's happening. And also you're the first face generally that people greet when you come into the center. So a friendly smile, look them in the eye, and then have them sign in. It's very important that we keep the sign-in going. It's the way that the church counts our numbers so that we can keep our center open. So signing in is a very essential part of coming into the center. Some people will need help, so be sure you help them with a good smile on your face and welcome them into the center.
You
Yes.
can sign in on the computers as well.
You can sign in on the computers as well, yes. And you can encourage them to do either out there at the iPad or inside here. Ask the patron what they are here to do. Kind of get a feel for what they want, and then assign them to a consultant who can assist them. That's really an important part of serving the patrons here. This room primarily is used for classes and research during the day. In the south room, room 101, you can see that it's dedicated to the youth. I want to just spend just a second talking about the youth. We have had such wonderful experience up here with the youth, called as Temple and Family History Consultants. Some of you aren't here during those hours, and the youth have just been terrific. They come, they learn, they serve, and they have learned so much, and they are going to now go into their wards and be a great resource to them and their families. The overflow room, are you all familiar where the overflow room is? That's also the book scanner room. And if there's a class in here and an activity over here, the overflow room is available for patrons to do research. Okay, the youth hours we've talked a bit about, from 3 to 5, Tuesday through Thursday. In the summertime, we don't have formal youth hours. It's just during the school year we accommodate those hours. There's also young single adults who come up on Monday nights. I'm letting you know how wonderful the center is and how it gets used throughout the week so that you're aware of all that's happening up here. Missionaries are also encouraged to use the Family History Center. This was in the operations manual. So if you have missionaries serving in your ward or your state, bring them up here, help them to have an experience with an investigator or someone who is coming back into activity. This is a great place to bring them. I have seen our stake MLS couple up here many times, and they bring such a wonderful spirit with them. And oftentimes they have people who are investigating the church, and it's a powerful tool. So that's another thing that you can encourage folks to do. All right, scheduling the center. You do that currently through Jackie Fryer, but you will always be able to see that in the handbook or on the website. There will be a number on there for you to schedule the center. Now, what I mean by scheduling the center is it can be for a youth activity, it can be for your elders quorum or your relief society, or even a family event. If you want to schedule the center for a family home evening or a family reunion, you'll call Jackie, and she will also ask you what kind of resource you need when you schedule the center, if you're going to need some consultants or what you'll need, and somebody will be here to open the center for you. Yes?
As you're working consultant in your ward, and someone in your ward says, how do I schedule a building like the Relief Society, where on the website can you go to the Family History Guide?
It's under the contact us. Yeah, it should be under, yes, scheduling. I believe it has her email and her phone number on there. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Did you know that we have country and language resources up here? Yes, no? How many of you do know that we have that available? I think that's an underutilized resource up here. That is also in the handbook, and it's also under the consultant tab. There are people who specialize in different countries, and if you do know of people who do specialize in a certain country research, or if they have language skills, let us know. We'll be happy to add their name to the list as a resource. I thought I saw Gail come in. Oh, hi, Gail. She's one of our Danish experts, and she's helped many people. I know, I'm just going to pick on you. Cheryl Ferrara's done a lot in Italy. So they're great resources. I was here with another sister here on Sunday, and to say, Mary Ann came in and said that she'd had a lot of experience in Ireland and England. So it really comes in handy when you're doing research and you don't know where to go, to be able to go to those resources and get the extra help you need. All right, scanners and printers. This is always a hot item, right? And always one that people are saying, now how do you do this? They're located in that office, and the book scanner is in this office. Who knows where you can get instructions on how to work the machines? Brother Evans.
There's a book in each room.
Yes, there's a book in each room. It's in the consultant handbook. Very good.
Or you can schedule a private tutor.
Yes, you can with this good sister, Carol Jensen. We do have an online sign-up right now. I hope you've seen. If you want to come and have some training on that.
Does that include the book scanner?
Yes, it includes all scanners. Yes, yes. Also, we were cleaning out the drawers, as you know, because we had a lost and found claim recently. And I noticed that there are instructions inside the drawer, too. Oh, there's just so many resources for us.
And I love that Carol tapes them right on the table,
Yes,
right by the printer,
yes.
to do like double-sided.
Right. So if you get in a bind and all of those resources don't help, you can rely on each other, or you can call one of us and we'll try to help you. Okay, so there's lots of help. And really don't miss out on the online sign-up if you haven't had training, because you'll just, in a group of 5 people, it will be a small group and you'll be able to get that training. Okay, memories preservation. Does everybody know how to, if a patron comes in and says, oh, I want to convert my cassette tape to digital, does everyone know how to do that? How to help a patron make that happen? Yes? Debbie?
This is their envelope and there's information there and you can sign up and just include it.
Yes. So there's envelopes just outside the door, and there's a form. There's copyright limits on there, so you have to make sure they have that. They put their media in there, and they also need to have a thumb drive of some kind to capture the files, the digital files. What if they forgot their thumb drive? What happens next?
You can buy one here.
You can buy one here. Does everybody know where those are located?
When I tried to use that, it's been gone.
Yes, I know that we're a little low on them right now, but they're
I just
aware.
ordered 20 more that we got Thursday.
Okay.
I'm going to come in and buy them.
She's going to come in and buy the balls. So make sure that you put the thumb drive in that order. There's envelopes where you find the thumb drive, but they're $5, so put the $5 in there, seal it up. On the outside of the envelope, make sure you write down what it's for, and then use the very high-tech night depository, which you slide under the tech drawer, And then our wonderful techs will come and pick the money up and buy new thumb drives for us.
Or pizza or whatever.
Or pizza, whatever is good. Okay. The only thing I just wanted to mention to you, they're not too fond of doing VHS tapes because it's real time. So if you have a 6-hour VHS tape, it takes them 6 hours to transfer it. So they don't do VHS here. However, down at the Lehigh Family History Center, I don't know if you've been down there, it's just amazing. Not as cool as ours, of course, but it's bigger. You can reserve a booth with a VHS that will transfer your VHS to digital. And you can sit there all 6 hours if you want and transfer it. But that's one place, that is a resource for you if you wanted to do VHS down at the Lehigh Family History Center. Anything else you want to add to that? Yes?
Is there a limit on how many slides
A limit to slides
or other bulk information?
or other information.
Yeah, they're, on slides not so much, but all of that is in the
board.
consultant handbook, and I think it's also on the door. But slides aren't spanned. We have a high-speed slide duplicator that'll do about 50 a minute.
You can slide those into the door.
Yeah, don't slide them
Yeah,
under
don't
the
slide
door.
those under the door. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a number of who to contact if you have questions concerning this?
Yes.
And is it on the door?
It's on the door.
Oh, good.
And I believe it's also on the Granite website too, Granite Family History website as well. You can make appointments. You can actually do your own slides under the supervision of the tech that's there. So that can be patron-driven with supervision. Yes?
I heard that it's best to call here Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening.
Yes, from 6:30 to 9. Yes, that's when they're here. So we do have one that comes in Thursday afternoons from 12:30 to 3. And oftentimes they'll be here on Sundays too. So any other questions on that?
If you don't want to go clear down to Lehigh for VHS or whatnot, we have some blue flyers that are in this first office. There's a group that's just on the other side of 90th South, right on the other side of the freeway. There's a company that does it, and they give us great pricing, or give you great pricing on it. So that's another option.
I just used them and it was fabulous.
Gret. Yes, Debbie.
Riverton Library or Library, Family History Center also has a VHS.
Okay, is that patron-driven? Do they? Okay, so you just reserve a slot there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Oh, yes.
On the FamilyHistoryCenter.com, under Media Services, it says you can do like 3 cassette tapes per order, 1 reel-to-reel, or other media per order. It's got listed like 100 components.
Okay.
These methods change.
At a time, right?
Right.
Okay.
Order.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. Okay, I just wanted to show you our hardworking tech crew. Since I was harassing everybody for pictures, I got them too. Okay, audio visual. You guys are going to be so happy. This has been a very hot topic up here at the center because it's been very complicated and confusing to use the audio-visual cabinet. So we had a wonderful Brother Keel come with President Ives, and I don't know who else was here, but they spent a lot of time simplifying the audio-visual, and you are going to love it. I'm just going to give you that as a teaser, because we are working on new instructions right here. They will be very simple, user-friendly. I'm telling you, it is just a dream to use it now. I am so excited. There was leftover equipment in here from the seminary, which was really not, we didn't need it. So they came in and simplified it. Do you have, you look like you want to say something, President Castleton? No?
It's great.
Yeah. I've been just like jumping for joy all week. I'm so excited. And Debbie Weaver is helping me write a great instruction sheet for it. So, and that resulted from the concerns of the consultant. So we're here to help you serve well. So if you have things that we need to do better, let us know. We're happy to do it. Okay, so that's just a picture of these two rooms. You can see it's much more simplified. There's 3 boxes instead of 6 that we have to deal with, and I think you push like 3 buttons total. It's great. So, all right, caring for the center. I think most of you know that on the back of your name badge, you have some responsibilities to help us maintain the center. So, no food at the computers. Water bottles are okay, but there should be no food. When the youth come, we do feed them, but we feed them back here at the sofas. They should not be having food there either. Okay, if your calling changes, will you please notify one of us at the center, particularly me. Whoever is serving as the Assistant Director of Patron Services, please let us know. There was a couple of consultants that had left months ago, and I had no idea. And I didn't know that there was a need on their shift. They told the rest of the folks on their shift, but they didn't let me know. So if your calling changes, please let me know so that we can make the necessary adjustments and we can tell you thank you for serving. Okay. Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the reason we have all these needful things. Can somebody please read this for me? Pauline?
The greatest responsibility in this world that God has laid upon us is to seek after our good, a dispensation to meet the promises made by Jesus Christ before the foundation of the world for the salvation of man.
So once all the needful things have been established, then we are ready to create this house of prayer and fasting in the house of God, a place where people can come and do their family history, have these wonderful discovery experiences. Each of you have been called as a temple and family history consultant by either a ward or a stake leader and set apart to help in this wonderful work. I'm going to skip that one. There's 4 principles, and you'll find this on the consultant page and on the family search page. There's 4 principles in helping you to prepare as a consultant, and the first one is to pray before you come on shift. When you invite Heavenly Father and the Spirit to be with you when you come up on shift here, you'll have a beautiful experience because you will bring the Spirit with you to serve and to be helpful. It leads to the inspiration that you need. It leads to being able to be in tune with what is happening. If you come on and you get stumped, so oftentimes you'll have that inspiration that you need. So prayer is essential in serving as a consultant. Then there's our individual preparation. There are so many ways to prepare. We can't do it all. We all start at the same place, right? Knowing nothing, right? And step by step, precept on precept, we learn a little here, we learn a little there. You can prepare by reading on the family search. We have excellent classes up here that will expand your knowledge and you'll be able to learn new skills. I don't know if you've taken the opportunity, but there, just across the top of your screen on the home page, there's these wonderful programs and websites that will help you in learning new tools. President Castleton has said, if it's quiet and you're on shift, take a minute to just kind of poke through each one of them, and you'll see what great resources there are available to us up here. You can also watch past Roots Tech presentations. That's always very helpful. And another thing to remember is, I love this phrase that was coined by, I don't know if it was coined by him, but he uses it a lot and we love it.
We picked it up.
Yes. Remember that you are the librarian and not the library. You do not have to know it all, right? Is it even possible, Jeanette, to know it all? It's not. There's things happening all the time. There's more information. There's more things to learn. So you can't possibly know it all, but you should remember that there are places to go when you need help. Ask each other, rely on each other. That's also a very good resource. If there's something I don't know, Marianne will know it. If there's something Marianne doesn't know, Gail knows it. So we help each other on all the time. And then I just wanted to go through just a little bit. If you have a patron come in, or if you are training a new Temple and Family History consultant, I find that the three most, I guess the things that people want to know the most are how to navigate family search, how to add memories. They like to do their pictures and their stories, and also how to do indexing. So I love, love, love the Family History Guide, and we have our creator sitting right here and the other one in the other room, so we're so fortunate to have them here. You can see that Sister England here has been training, I think I saw Connie here. Connie, yeah, she's one of our new Temple and Family History consultants. And the way that we have asked our consultants to do the training is to split your screen, to have family search up on one side and then the family history guide up on the other side, and then to train them that way. That way, if you are not sitting beside them, training them, they'll be able to go home and still have that resource available to them. Again, memories, that's project 2. Project 5 is indexing. And then I think after you kind of have those basics down, you can start building with the other projects. There's so much more to learn. But I think those tend to be the 3 primary things that people are interested in. Next, I think it's a good, oh yes, Brother Evans.
Is there a place where it's documented how to split a screen?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's in the guide. I'm trying to think where it is.
Search for it on the Family History Guide. We'll teach you how to fish. Yes, Debbie.
I mean, when I learned it, it changed 3 years ago.
Okay, it's probably right in the beginning is what she's saying on the Family History Guide.
Yeah. Or you can, there's a search bar at the top. You can just type split screen if you want. Or there's a topics list. There's all kinds of ways.
In the Family History Guide. It is such a great tool. I hope you all go home and poke around on the Family History Guide a little bit. It's a great one. We encourage you to use the tracker sheet too. It's a good way for people to see the progress that they're making and where they may still need some help. You can get this either online or you can print one out for whoever you're training. Okay, the third thing is to minister one-on-one, and this is, I think, the most important thing here. The patrons always come first, right? They always come first. One of the concerns that I've had was on occasion, a patron will come in and feel like they're intruding on a consultant's research. And so we need to be very, very sensitive that when we have patrons come for assistance, we are on the ready at all times to help. That is why you're here. I know it's really fun to do your own research. I myself love to do it too because there's not a lot of time at home to do it. So when you come up here, it feels like, oh, good, I can do some. But always, always remember that the most important thing you do up here is to minister to the patrons. So don't ever let someone feel like you're too busy to help them. So make sure that that is a top priority. Eager to help. And then extend an invitation. Sometimes our shifts are fairly quiet, and it's appropriate to invite someone up and help them along. Invite someone from your ward or your family. I had somebody on Sunday who had invited a friend from work, and she was thrilled. She had never been exposed to family search ever, and she was having the best time. So an invitation is super, super important. Okay. Can I have somebody read this for me, please? Thank you.
While people in family history live in the power to bless the beyond the veil, as people in the power to bless the living, it has a refining influence on those who are engaged in it. They are really healthy, solid.
So I just wanted to bear my testimony of this work. Recently, my husband Jacob and I had a very sweet experience I wanted to share with you, and this is the reason why we are here and why we do what we do and what we're called to do. A few years ago, we had found one of his great uncles in Norway, and we found a few sources on him, but not a lot, enough to know that he had been married and he'd immigrated to America. And we found a wife's name, and we thought, well, we should probably leave it in case one of their children eventually might want to do those ordinances for that family. So we added the sources to him, and we left it. But recently, this has been a few years ago too, recently I felt kind of compelled to look at it again. And when I opened it, because of faithful indexers, there were so many more records available to us, and we just started unfolding and discovering this beautiful story of his great uncle who had come here, immigrating from Norway. And it turns out that he and his wife were married in 1947, and she passed away in 1950. It was a very short love story. They were only married for 3 years and had no children. And by finding that again, I realized that it would be our privilege to be able to offer those ordinances to that family. The way we got there, though, is I didn't start out knowing a lot. We had a love for it. We muddled through. We took our 4-inch floppy disks down to the church family history library. They would do the duplicates for us and print the cards. And that was kind of our experience. But eventually, I was able to come up here, and a very loving consultant took me aside and taught me all these principles that have blessed my life so much. I know that by doing this, my heart has been turned to my family. And I know that their hearts are turned to us because we have the privilege of offering these ordinances of salvation for them. That is what the work is all about. Sometimes it's so hard because we get so caught up in all the busyness of it and the mechanics of it. And those things are necessary. We have to. They're needful items. We have to have a house of order in order for us to have these beautiful experiences up here. I want to express my gratitude for you. We just could not open the doors of the center without you. And I'm so grateful for all that you do. I'm grateful for your input. I'm grateful for your suggestions, the concerns, whatever happens that needs to happen in order for us to make the center a beautiful place. I want to have somebody read just a portion of the dedicatory prayer that was offered on this building. Just somebody who would read that for me, please. Thank you.
We pray for all the volunteers that will serve here, those who have already begun and those who will be called in the future. We pray that their lives will be blessed, their families will be blessed, and that the joy of service will radiate in their faces and their eyes and their homes. We dedicate this center unto Thee as a place of learning, a place of love, a place of light, a place of caring, a place of missionary work, a place of testimony, a center that will bless our lives and help us to further Thy work.
This is my prayer for you as well. I hope that your life will be blessed by serving up here. And I know that my life is blessed for knowing you. And I offer this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Is there anyone who has further questions or anything else that we didn't cover? Brother Evan.
I'm full of questions.